white woman accused me of cultural appropriation, so I asked who made her the culture police. Cultural dress-up day at my college is one of my favorite annual events where students celebrate diversity by wearing traditional attire from their heritage on a mock fashion runway in the main hall. As someone of Chinese ethnicity, I'd participated before and was genuinely excited about this year's celebration of different cultures and traditions. My friend from Indian heritage and I decided to make this year extra special by participating in a cultural exchange. She brought a stunning pink and silver sari with intricate gold jewelry, while I provided her with a beautiful red and gold chipao along with traditional hair ornaments. We spent the morning getting ready at her house, helping each other with the unfamiliar clothing and accessories, genuinely appreciating each other's cultural heritage. Walking to college together, we felt confident and excited about participating in this celebration of diversity and inclusion. We decided to stop at a local coffee shop, and while my friend went to the bathroom, I waited for our drink orders, feeling proud to wear something that represented her culture with respect and admiration. That's when I noticed a group of women whispering and staring at me with obvious disapproval. I understood that my attire was unusual for a coffee shop setting, so their curiosity didn't initially bother me. However, what happened next completely caught me off guard and revealed something troubling about cultural policing in public spaces. One woman, who appeared to be Caucasian, approached me directly and asked if I was Indian. When I explained that I wasn't, she immediately accused me of culturally appropriating Indian culture, apparently assuming she had the authority to determine what was appropriate for me to wear based on my appearance and ethnicity. I was genuinely surprised by her confrontational approach because, to me, cultural appropriation involves mocking or disrespecting a culture, not genuinely appreciating and celebrating it with a friend's blessing. My friend and I were participating in a literal cultural exchange as part of a college diversity event, sharing our heritage with each other in the most respectful way possible. But what struck me most about this encounter was the audacity of this stranger, assuming she had the right to police my clothing choices in public. Here was someone who appeared to have no connection to Indian culture lecturing me, a person of color, about what was appropriate to wear. The irony was almost too much to process. So I responded with a question that seemed to cut right to the heart of the issue. Do you think it's okay for you, as a white woman, to approach people of color in public and tell them how they're allowed to dress? The effect was immediate and telling. She looked genuinely shocked that someone had challenged her assumed authority to police cultural expression. She tutted, rolled her eyes with obvious indignation, and retreated back to her friends, who suddenly looked embarrassed about the entire confrontation. When my friend emerged from the bathroom, I handed her our drinks and explained what had just happened during our walk to college. She found the entire situation hilarious, probably because she understood better than anyone that we were participating in genuine cultural appreciation rather than appropriation. However, when I shared the story with another friend later, they suggested that my response had been unnecessarily hostile, and that I should have simply explained the context of our college event and cultural exchange. They felt I could have been more educational rather than confrontational. This feedback made me question whether I'd handled the situation appropriately. Part of me wonders if I should have been more patient and explanatory, helping this woman understand the difference between respectful cultural appreciation and harmful appropriation. But another part of me feels that her approach was fundamentally problematic regardless of her intentions. The assumption that she had the authority to confront strangers about their clothing choices, especially when those strangers were people of color participating in genuine cultural exchange, seemed to reveal its own form of cultural insensitivity. The whole experience highlighted how complex discussions about cultural appropriation can become, especially when people make assumptions about others' backgrounds, intentions, and relationships without understanding the full context. Sometimes the people trying to police cultural boundaries may themselves be overstepping important social boundaries. I still believe in protecting cultures from genuine appropriation and mockery, but I also think there's a difference between harmful exploitation and respectful appreciation, especially when it involves actual cultural exchange between friends from different backgrounds.